Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5. We deliver our presentation under the title Correlation Research in Language Research. The first is definition of correlation research in language research. Correlation research in language research involves the statistical investigation of relationships between two or more linguistic variables to determine whether and how they are associated. The purpose is to understand and extent to which one linguistic factor, like language proficiency, vocabulary size, varies with another frequency of language exposure, cognitive skills, without implying cause and effect relationships. And next, steps are conducting correlation research in language research. First, identify the research problem. Define the linguistic variables you are interested in, such as language proficiency and language use in specific contexts. Second, formulate hypotheses. Develop research hypotheses about how you expect the variables to be related. For example, you might hypothesize that higher frequency of second language use correlates with better language fluency. Third, select participants and sampling. Choose a representative sample of participants from the population you are studying. The sample size will be sufficient for statistical analysis. Fourth, choose measurement tools. Select or design appropriate instruments to measure the linguistic variables. These might include standardized language proficiency tests, surveys, or observation protocols. Fifth, collect data. Gather data from participants using your selected tools. Make sure the data collection methods are reliable and valid. 6. Analyze data. Use statistical software to calculate the correlation coefficients to determine the strength and direction of the relationships between the variables. 7. Interpret results. Assess the significance and meaning of the correlation coefficients. Determine if the results support your hypothesis and consider possible explanations for the relationships. 8. Report findings. Write a report detailing your methods, results, and conclusions. Discuss the implication of your findings for language research or pedagogy. The next one is example of correlation research in language research. An example might be a study investigating correlation between vocabulary size and reading comprehension skills in bilingual children. The research could measure each child's vocabulary knowledge in both their first and second languages and their ability to comprehend text, analyzing whether children with large vocabularies tend to have better reading comprehension skills.
Step the research gap. The research gap may be the lack of studies examining the specific relationship between vocabulary acquisition in a second language and academic achievement across different socio-economic backgrounds. While much research has focused on language acquisition or socio-economic factors in learning, the interaction between these variables might be underexplored. Demonstrating the step of conducting correlation research. Step 1. Identify the variables. You might focus on the relationship between hard spent on language practice and speaking fluency in non-native speakers. Step 2. Formulate the hypothesis. More hours spent on language practice are positively correlated with increased speaking fluency. Step 3. Participant selection. Choose 100 non-native English learning from different language schools. Step 4. Data selection. Measure speaking fluency using a standardized fluency test and ask participants to report their weekly language practice hours. Step 5. Data analysis. Input the data into statistical software and calculate the Pearson correlation coefficient to determine the strength and direction of the relationship. Step 6. interpretation. In the Persian, it suggests a moderate positive correlation between language practice and speaking fluency. And the last step, step 7, conclusion. Conclude the increased practice hours are likely associated with better speaking fluency, though more research is needed to determine specific underlying factors. Research question and objectives in correlation research. Research question: what is the relationship between the frequency of language practice and fluency development in adult second language learners? 2. Is there a significant correlation between socio-economic background and vocabulary acquisition in bilingual children? Objectives: to examine the correlation between language practice hours and speaking fluency in non-native speakers. To investigate whether socio-economic factors are associated with difference in second language vocabulary acquisition in early learners. This question and objects guide the research toward exploring specific relationship between language-related variables, adding to the broader understanding of language learning dynamics.
Okay, maybe this is the last from us, and the last we say you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.